Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money with your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 633 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today I'm going to tell you how to inflation-proof yourself and your kids. Now, if some of this doesn't apply to you, and I'm going to have a section that directly applies to you, it probably applies to your neighbors, your brothers and sisters, their kids, your grandkids, your students if you're a teacher, or any other young person you know. Even though much of this episode is doom and gloom, I will have a solution for you. So hang in there so you can inflation-proof you and the people in your life. Now, I hope you didn't miss episode 632. That was Mike DeChocho. He has a podcast agency and quite a nice story of how he got nominated for Man of the Year for a charity and how he transitioned cold turkey to his business. So that was episode 632. And then episode 631, I'm going to mention that one again because that was reputable email. Reputable means having a good reputation. And if you mess this up, your open rates will tank and your spam complaints will skyrocket. And you'll likely get kicked off your email service. And unless you're a spammer that doesn't care about your reputation, your income will drop like a rock. So keep that email reputation high. That was episode 631. Anytime you want to get to a back episodes, you go to screwthecommute.com/ and then the episode number. That was 631. Mike DeChocho is 632, and today is 633. And you're probably going to want to pass this on to your neighbors or anybody that has a young person in their life or is in a job that they hate and they want to get out of it. They can't make ends meet because of inflation and costs rising, and their paycheck is not rising. So this would apply to anybody in any of those situations. All right, make sure you pick up a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. This is one of the tools that we use to save you enormous amounts of time. And I want you spending time with your customers and prospects and developing products and services, not fighting with your computer. So pick that up at screwthecommute.com/automate free. And of course, all this stuff will be in the show notes. And then pick up a copy of our podcast app at screwthecommute.com/app. That's APP. So you can put us on your cell phone and tablet and take us with you on the road. All right, let's get to the main event. How the heck do you inflation-proof yourself and your kids? Well, first let me talk about the quote, air quotes here, normal ways society have been brainwashed. You graduate high school. You go to college, you get a degree that carries with it zero skills that anyone wants, and then you compete for jobs at Starbucks. That's the way it's been. So I'm imploring you to wake up. The world has changed, and this is most likely not the way to go. You are dooming your kids to a life of debt, wasted effort, anxiety and stress when they hate their job and they pop around from one job to the other like today's generation are doing. So according to an article in Yahoo News, and they were reporting on a survey done by Career Builder, the average length of time a millennial spends at the job or on a job is 2 years and 9 months. Gen Z, which is younger, spends only 2 years and 3 months. Imagine what it's going to be like when your kids get in the workforce. It'll be down to like 2 days instead of 2 years. And I've got that link to the article there. It's really interesting in the show notes. Now, besides brainwashing by colleges and universities, who, in my not so humble opinion, are total ripoffs, and I implore you again to go to the quiz that I have, the college ripoff quiz at imtcva.org/quiz. It's my school website. You got all your head up the butt neighbors shaming you if you don't mortgage your house and hawk your lungs pretty much to send your kid to a traditional 4-year college, which will amount to at least, well, they will get at least 4 years of partying training. And you would be amazed at the studies by people in the system. This isn't just me hawking my school, which I want you, I implore you, because I know I'm going to take care of you, where these colleges are just building up their big money funds and indoctrinating kids. But anyway, after their, or during their partying training, the study showed that kids spend less than 8 hours a week going to class, preparing for class, and studying. 8 hours a week for all this money. The rest is partying, watching TV, shopping, going on social media, and eating. You really want to mortgage your house for that? I don't think so. And from the same article, it said a total of 53.2 million former students say they're unsure about the value of their degree, and that equals 39.4% of the 135 million Americans who've completed higher education. So almost 40% say they don't even know if it was worth it. This is also from the article. It says, this is quote, "It's little wonder that such a high percentage of those with degrees think their college wasn't worth the money, giving the 28.2% or 14.5 million of them who are unable to find a job within their field of study." Now, wait till you hear this. These are reasons why people say their college isn't worth it. And I'm just rounding the numbers off, so this doesn't equal exactly 100%, but the pie chart is on this article page. 12% dropped out of college. 13% changed careers that didn't have anything to do with what they went to college for. 28% said they can't find a job in their field of study. And listen to this, 40% said they're not using their degree. 40%. All right, let's go to a different thing here. Average student loan debt in the United States. This was from Value Penguin, which is part of LendingTree. I'm reading this exactly off their site. The average college debt among student loan borrowers in America is $32,731, and that's according to the Federal Reserve. Now, this is an increase of approximately 20% from 2015 to 16. So these numbers are a little bit old. It's the latest I could find. Most borrowers have between $25,000 and $50,000 outstanding in student loan debt, but more than 600,000 borrowers in the country are over 200,000 in student debt, and that number may continue to increase. And I've got the link to that article too in the show notes. All right, now this is me talking again. Here's what many people fail to consider: time out of the workforce and living expenses. Now, depending on the major, and then I have a link to a site called Think Impact, the average starting salary is between $50,000 and $71,000 per year. That means lost revenue of between $200,000 and $284,000 just because they weren't in the workforce. And here's the interesting thing. Students think their starting salary is going to be $85,000. Yeah, right. What a joke, with no skills, right? And here's another thing most people don't consider. According to College Board, the average college student spends approximately $2,270 per month on living expenses. And that's food, rent, clothes, and all that stuff. So that's another $108,960 over a 4-year period. Now you're up to nearly about $250,000 to nearly $400,000 because they're going to a 4-year college. And guess what? These are the latest figures I could find, and doesn't account for the runaway inflation we're now suffering. All right, so back to the just people out there that don't even care about college or don't have any young people in their life. So let's talk about you. If you are going to a job, and we'd get sick when we say that dreaded word around here at Screw the Commute, J-O-B. So you're fighting high gas prices and food costs, rents are skyrocketing, mortgage rates are taking a jump. Do you think you can just go into your boss and ask for a raise? Well, sure you can ask, but you got to consider what your business owner or company is facing. All their costs are going up just to buy raw materials, run their trucks and cars. They're going to be forced to raise their prices to the consumer just to break even. They know they can only raise the prices so high or people will quit buying altogether. Well, guess who is the low man or person on the totem pole? You, the worker, will be the last one they think about. So, if you're lucky, you still get your regular paycheck with no chance of a raise, but your living expenses keep going up, giving you less and less income to do the things you like and want to do. And keep in mind, I'm going to give you a solution to this in a few minutes, folks. And saving any money? Well, most Americans forgot about that a couple years ago. So you're working all week just to make ends meet, and in some cases, you're losing money for all your efforts, especially when you consider gas prices to get to work are double what they used to be. So, if you made it this far in this episode without crying and blowing your nose and, sobbing, I've got the solution. Get a skill that's in high demand and then has super high profit margins. Now, you can't get the skill overnight like a lot of scammers tell you, but you can get it reasonably quickly, even while you're still working at the dreaded job. And your kids could get the skill even faster and they'll probably be better at it than you because they're tech savvy. And what I'm talking about is digital information marketing and online coaching, mentoring, those kinds of things. Now, the digital stuff I'm talking about, products that are 97% gross profit and that can be fully housed on a decent laptop. No going to the post office, no manufacturing, no warehousing, nothing. Talking about like ebooks, online courses, e-courses, coaching, mentoring, critiques, live online trainings, all that stuff. Now, for the longest time, actually since about 1997, I've been preaching work, get paid, and paid some more. If you've seen me speak, you probably have heard that. Work, get paid. What you do is you create or have created for you. Other people can do it. Digital products. In other words, you do the work once and get paid forever for it. I have one ebook I created 22 years ago, and it's brought in, as of this morning, $3.86 million, and anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 a month. I call it like an insurance policy for you and your family. I mean, when I got hurt in that hunting accident, some of you heard of it, and no, I didn't get shot. It'd been a better story if I had. Fell on a log, perforated my intestines. I'm in intensive care for 2 weeks. Can't lift 5 pounds for 6 months. Money kept coming in from all these digital products that I have created over time. But anyway, when you learn to create these products, and I might add, again, you just have to have the idea, and you can have the products totally created for you by somebody else. And then you can sell them with automated tools where the buyer pays online, the money goes into your checking account, they download the product or get access to, let's say, an online site, and this is all automatic. Now, once you set this in motion, other than promoting it, it's all automated. But here's the thing. For a little bit extra effort, you can even set things up so the promotion is automated. All right. So why did I call this episode Inflation Proof Yourself and Your Kids? See, because for this not to work, inflation would have to go through the roof like Venezuela, 90%. I doubt that's going to happen. So how do you get these skills? Well, there's many ways, and you're welcome to spend years figuring it out like I did and experiment and spend a lot of money failing like I did until I got good training. Now, YouTube has tons of information, but what you get to do is try to figure out what's real and what's fake. That's the problem. So I have a couple options for you and your kids. One, you could get really serious about this and join my mentor program, which also gets you a scholarship to my school, which you can gift to your kid. I don't know, 15 years of age or older is appropriate. Although we've had 12 and 8-year-olds in my other training, each of which wrote 3 ebooks. How do you like that? I mean, these kids are amazing. Or number 2, you could get in yourself or enroll your child in my school directly. It's the only licensed, dedicated internet and digital marketing school in the country. We have 50% scholarships for military, first responder, law enforcement, and nurses and their immediate families. But here's the thing, even at full tuition, our school is between 13 and 21 times cheaper than what I outlined in this episode. And they will actually have a skill in around 6 months that's in high demand by every business on earth. And we even counsel them on starting their own business. And we've had people making money a couple months into the school with the things that they've learned. So it's just an amazing thing. And you're, like I said, you're kind of, if you force the 4-year college on your kids and go along with the status quo, you're basically dooming them to enormous amounts of debt and frustration and anxiety because they're just going to pop around. It's very sad to see what's going on out there. Anyway, if you'd like to discuss either of these programs, there's no pressure with me. I've been around a long time, and it's not going to change my lifestyle, whether you or your kids join or not. Might change yours, but it's not going to change mine. So if you'd like to discuss either of these programs, no pressure. Just simply email me at tom@screwthecommute.com and copy it to tomantion@gmail.com, and we'll set up a call to discuss your inflation-beating future. All right, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Beat that inflation. Catch y'all in the next episode. See you later.